Radio Shouting.
What's good with it? It's your boy B-High Radio Shouting. As always, I got my podcast partner in crime, OG Gangsta Wick, in the building with me. I got Atlanta football legend Andre Rison in this thing. I mean, fellas, what's good with it, man?
Yay.
What's good? What's happening in the A?
Oh, man.
B-High and Wicked.
Hey, I'm just the third wheel today, man. I'm just gonna sit back, man, and watch two pros, man. You a pro, Dre, in the NFL, B-High Pro Radio. Hey, I'm just gonna watch y'all too, man.
Well, now, Wick, you in there with it.
We can't leave him out, B.I. We can't leave him out, especially with that hat he got on.
Exactly. Well, he over there looking like LL in this thing.
Hey, rock the bell. My son for Christmas gave me all this fake jewelry. I'm wearing it too. I'm wearing it all.
What they say? Fake it till you get there, right?
Exactly. Now, Dre, I gotta start with you, man. Having that illustrious football career, and I gotta go straight to Atlanta with it. What was it like being one of the hottest players in the NFL, playing for the Falcons in the A-Town?
Oh, man, you already know that was undescribable. Man, I tell you what, we're actually living in a time where we're still living off that energy.
What?
And the young fellas and young women and the generation that's doing their thing right now in Atlanta, they're still jumping off the springboard of what the foundation that we had laid. Not just myself, but a lot of people, man. It took a lot of people for the South in general, and especially the Atlanta area, to get off the ground in entertainment. Not only just entertainment, but sports too. You know, for a long time we struggled in baseball, basketball, football. We struggled for a long time, and for some reason during that era, the Braves won. We won as the Falcons. We had some great players on both teams. The Hawks started to creep into playoffs here and there and do their thing. They had some great players with Steve Smith, Dominique Wilkins, Mookie Blaylock, those guys. So it was a great thing and a great atmosphere. You know, we got to attribute Ted Turner, quiet as kept, a lot too, because he galvanized and actually gave blacks and gave minorities opportunities to move around, fluctuate during a time when they wouldn't even let rap be played on the radio. So we couldn't even start to talk about hip hop at that time, you know? Mm-hmm. There were still so many barriers to be broken, but in the process of it, we were enjoying ourselves as minorities, blacks, whites, you name it. And we had a great time, and I believe we learned from each other. You know, everybody's not perfect, and I think we were just living in a time where we were just all one family and representation of Atlanta.
Exactly. On and off the field. Okay, the Falcons was off the chain and popping, but this city was also off the damn chain too. What was it like being a wide receiver for the Falcons and then having to go hit Magic City after the game?
There you go. The first time I went to Magic City is the first time I actually met Big Meech. And so you can imagine how that went. We had an awesome time, man. And got a chance to meet the owners of the club, who I became great friends with. Still great friends to this day. They mad at me now because I ain't in Atlanta enough for them down there in Magic City. But, you know, the wifey played a role in that. that's for sure. And but I tell you what, man, we used to practice, I swear. It depended on how the season was going. If I played with the Falcons when we were 1-15. I also played when we won our first playoff game in almost 30 years, something like that. But we used to practice and dedicate practice to, like, you know, certain situations on, you know, certain establishments on certain corners. Mm-hmm. And Magic City just happened to be one of them. You know, on a Friday, we might have a bye weekend, and we've got practice on a Friday. You know we're going to have Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You know what the Monday's like in Magic City. I tell you, it gave us a lot of inspiration, I tell you that.
You didn't hear Wick?
Hey, Dre, yeah. Dre, this is your boy Wicked, as you already know. Man, I want to I want to ask you a quick question first, and then we'll dive off into some of the old legendary stuff.
Hold up. First of all, man. Hey, first of all, I gotta cut you off because I follow you on IG, and
Okay.
I follow you beyond IG too, man. And health come before anything.
Absolutely.
I'm glad to hear your voice and see you talking, and keep putting the word out there, for the young men and men of our age and men in general to go get checkups, man, when they think something's wrong. And
Absolutely. But
thank the Lord, thank Allah that you here.
Dre, I got something I got to get off. I got to ask you right now. It's 4th and 20.
Yeah.
Right? Since it's the Christmas season, I got a scenario for you. It's 4th and 20.
Yeah, 4th and 20.
B-High has press coverage on you on the outside.
It ain't happening.
If you score, all the kids in the world get iPads. If B-High stop you, they get cold. All the kids getting iPads or not, Dre?
I tell you what. Honestly, I'm gonna look into the camera real good. I'm gonna call a timeout. I'm gonna go to the referee and call a timeout. Walk over to the head coach and say, "Look here, this is my good friend, and I really don't want to embarrass him on his podcast and all those good things, because he's doing great things in the community. But you know what? Hey, these kids need to eat now. Kids need to eat now. Hey, I got a job to do.
Hey, man, but seriously, man, look.
It ain't personal. I done told many that, I done told many. It ain't personal.
Hey, Dre, I want to take it back. I'm sitting here on my computer while I'm watching your greatness, and I have a few questions from people that are chiming in, a few celebrities. Top Authority, they're from your hometown. They're a rap group popular in the 90s. Wanted me to ask you, during your illustrious career, was there ever any time that you considered coming back home playing for your home team, Detroit Lions?
Yeah, I considered a couple times. Actually, it's funny. I was just talking to some players from Detroit Lions, and considering that I grew up here, shouts out to the family too. They were an awesome group back then, still an awesome group now. I thought about it, and they didn't go wrong. They were gonna draft me or draft Barry Sanders, so they didn't go wrong. But my thing was, I just always felt I won everywhere I went and played, and so I've been a winner my whole life. I feel if I'm attached to something, we're gonna win in some type of form, some type of fashion, some type of capacity, given the opportunity to compete. I believe, preparation is admirable. I've always done it. That's why I laugh at little clowns that, want to talk about, if I'm applicable or coming in the Falcons organization and help in some type of way, in a significant way too. You got to be out your rabbit's mind not to think that I'm not intelligent enough about this game and been around this game long enough and played for some great players, played alongside great players and played for some great coaches and terrible organizations up front and some great ones up front, administrative wise. When I looked at Detroit Lions, I always thought long shot that I would get an opportunity to play there maybe one day, because I had won state titles in high school in Michigan. I had won the Rose Bowl in the state of Michigan. I won championships. And so I figured that, I thought the crossroads would cross, but the paths never crossed. Now, I played against Detroit, several times, 4 or 5 times, and always had great games. But it's funny because, they just fired their whole front office. And here we go again. With a lot of talented enough people with the knowledge of front office and the relationships that they could build and networks that they could build within the communities of their own locker room, which is the players. The National Football League is 80% Afro-American. And so, you know, everybody knows the big stipulation about, you know, minority coaches getting opportunities, minority people in front office getting opportunities. And it was funny when the opposition was let go over there at Detroit last week. You know, it ran across my mind, like, you know, wow, why not me? You know, and so, you know, I've won Super Bowls. I've played, you know, for Bill Belichick, Mike Holmgren, John Gruden, Marty Schottenheimer. The list goes on what I've learned from those guys. And you know, who's to say why not? You know, why not me? And that's why I had raised the question about the Atlanta Falcons.
Absolutely. This one was from Bone Crusher, your partner. He says, "Tell you attention."
South Bone.
Yeah. Oh, he wants to know, without us regurgitating all the history of you and Left Eye and Tupac and MC Breed and all the great artists that you supported back in the day. He wants to know, do you still have any music with some of these artists, which we call vault music? And if you do, would you ever release it at some point?
That's an awesome question, because I have a lot of material, and I'm planning on releasing here in the next week 2 mixtapes with about 25 songs on each one of them. Unfortunately, guys that I had songs with, cats that I had songs with, are passed, and so I'm not going to release those. Which I had songs with Pac, I had tons of songs with Breed, and other MCs as well. I even got recordings with DLC voice on it.
His original voice?
Nope. It was right after they came up. Right after the accident, and Breed brought him up to the house, and DLC was actually at the house for that. Those videos. They shot more than just Get Yours, Get Mine at the house. They shot a lot of videos, but excuse me, but I can't think of what was lost in the house in the fire, because remember we had that remarkable studio in the basement.
Absolutely.
And it had a lot of material, and back then, you know, everything was on reels, 2-inch reel, and so we haven't went to the digital world just yet. And you know, I'm gonna release a lot of material, you know, on myself, old songs, and if anybody wants dope hooks, dope verses, ghostwriting, you know, I'm here for all that. And you know, I'm a pioneer in the game, and you know, we earned stripes in it. Like, we were studio junkies, studio babies. I remember it's 2 hours before kickoff, and we get ready to play the New York Jets, and I'm on the north side of Atlanta in the studio, trying to finish a song. You know, I had studios next to Too Short, right next to Too Short. I had studios on East Side, South Side, North Side, Bankhead, Decatur. I had studios off of Candler Road, you know, and you know, that's why it amazes me too. I'm jumping off a track a little bit on these guys having all this animosity towards each other, man. You know, if we had animosity back in the day towards each other, it was, you know, I see you face to face, you know, we can't talk about it, it's issues, but we about getting this bread, man, and getting this money, and making it back home to these kids and babies. And, you know, y'all so young, you're making great music, and, you know, it's a new style of music, and, you know, you still got a couple MCs still spitting, you know, the old school melodic bars or whatever, but you got to move and change with time. And I think when we were coming along, I was way more than just a football player. I was a friend, a colleague, a street associate to a lot of cats in Atlanta, and a lot of cats that weren't even from Atlanta that moved to Atlanta trying to get on in the music game. So I was laying next to the #1 really rapper in the world, and she was a female, and they would never play a song on the radio. Right. So
I want to get into that. I want to get into that real quick, Dre, before I send it back to Beehive. I cannot let you go without this story right here. Cannot be written in. I mean, this is Hollywood. For people that don't know out there, we all know. We don't regurgitate you and Left Eye's relationship. We don't have to get into all that. But Dre, could you please tell the people out here what your current wife name is, and also how you guys met. This blows.
Oh man. Oh man. You know what? Let's go back to that clown I was talking about. I wasn't coaching. I was doing a camp about 14 years ago, and Dion couldn't get to it. Sanders, he couldn't get to him, and because he was getting obligated, he was getting this thing going on TV, and he told the guys that I'd probably be a great fit for it. And it was the U.S. Army All-American game, and it was football university, largest camp, largest high school all-star game in the country. On TV, and before it even came on TV, it's huge. All the guys that's playing in the pros from last 15 years have went to that camp in some type of form, FBU camp, and I was running the camp. And we were out in Arizona, and I was on my last trip, and I was on a tour, 23-city tour, and I was kind of tired, man, and I said, you know what, my homeboy called me, used to play with me at the Chiefs, Mark McMillan, was like, man, get your old ass up, let's go, we out. So we went out, knowing we had to catch that red eye back. I had to catch a red eye back to Miami because that's where I was living at. And went out, man, and went to the bathroom and tried to slide through, some people keeping these shoulders, tucked so I don't get no confrontation, all that. Back then, I was still beating my depression and CTE, all, the NFL damages. I might swing on them. I might swing on a motherfucker in the club. So, I just made it to the bathroom. Then when I came back, she was still standing in the same place. So I just shot my shot. And for some reason, I said, in my heart, in my chest, it felt like I was getting old or something, or I was losing my swag. And so I shot my shot, and I won.
What can you tell people what her name is?
Hey. I don't know how that happened. I got kind of spooked a little bit too. Her name was Lisa Lopez. Way out in Arizona. She spelled it with the Z though. And I just kind of told her a little bit in her ear because she was with her twin sister and a couple more good friends. I just said, look, I'm a little famous, and this Google thing, that's when as soon as you say somebody's name, they just Google your ass, right? So I really didn't want to tell her my name, and I really didn't want to say nothing. Plus, I had that child support bullshit over my head going on, and I was trying to get rid of it and handle all my business, and then get back on my 10 toes. And in the process, I just didn't want to tell her my name because I knew if she Googled my name, right at the top of the engine search, my name was gonna come up about being chased by these people for no damn reason. I ain't gave these people millions of dollars, and they still chasing me. And so instead of saying it that way, I just said, look, I'm a little bit famous. So if you Google me
a little bit.
If you Google me or something. And so she said, that's cool, but look at this license. I looked at the license and they was already giggling about it. And lo and behold, her name was Lisa Lopez, man.
Well, and y'all are married now today. How many kids do y'all have, Andre?
Man, we got 4 beautiful girls. I got some beautiful girls, man. My wife dropped dead gorgeous. I had to take my chance and shoot my shot, man. And it was a beautiful angel in disguise, man. She got me back on my feet. Like they say, the best way you can prove somebody talking trash, and this and that or whatever. Don't no broke man be building no houses from the ground up. And paying off.
Well, that's amazing. Be her. You ain't got nothing to say. You over there just.
Well, now I was about to come back in. My question is to both of y'all though, Wick and Dre. Take me back to 1990s Atlanta. Ghetto Mafia popping. The Atlanta Falcons popping. Y'all in the midst of all of this stuff. All this coming in and out the city, and I mean it's just it's just crazy. What was that lifestyle like for y'all? You got Big Meech. What was that lifestyle like for y'all?
Let me tell you something. Let me jump in first. Andre was, let's be very clear. He was here. I was down here. It wasn't the same. He was $30 million in the game. It's a big difference between 30 million and 3,000. So let's get that understood. Hey, Dre was the first person. Let me tell you, this guy. I met Andre Rison through Derek Handspike. What's up, Big D? And through
oh man, you took my intro, Wick.
Yeah,
you took my intro.
Through Dre, I met Big Meech. We used to be down off P Street, and I would go down to this guy's G house, and I would see Andre Rison there, and at the time, Meech wasn't the Meech that we know now. Mm-hmm. You know, so because he used to be, you know, that's Dre little partner. So Earthquake stayed upstairs. Remember Dre, the comedian, and I saw this guy around. I'm like, man, this is like one of my favorite players, man. Him and Theon, man. So Dre. I'm talking about the second time I met Dre. Dre was taking us to a club. This guy here would party. I'm like, oh my God, I couldn't. No sleep. We'd be up in the club. We'd be up in the Cheesecake Factory at 6 a.m. They're not even open. Dre don't made the owner open up for just us. But Dre gave me a 500 SCL Benz to drive. He had bought 5 Benzes in when he would go buy cars, he would buy every model, the drop top, the truck, the big body. He gave me a 500 Benz to drive. And I couldn't believe he just threw me the keys like that. I'm like, I didn't have a license. I was like,
I be high. Actually, did he have a gun though? He had no license, but I bet you had a gun.
I said, man, this guy is crazy, man. He don't threw me the car. He said, y'all just follow me right there. I would wait for Dre. We didn't have no cell phones like that back then. So I would wait for Dre to go through the light, and I'd turn that thing on the other way and go back to Decatur. I had to take that thing through the hood. But man, to me, man, just watching you, Dre, I know you personally. You don't taught me a lot of stuff, brother, and I'm thankful that I crossed paths with you when I did at a young age. I didn't have a father, so I've always kind of looked up to you as a father.
Man, you know what, Wick, man, that's much love. You know how much I love Atlanta. D-Hand Spike, you know, welcomed me with open arms. Notorious, D-Hand Spike, Silk, Ghetto Mafia, Rico Wade, the Dungeon Family. There was nothing like it, man. I really, really appreciate you guys. Dallas Austin, his brother, Jermaine, Dupree, everybody that allowed me to be a part of Freak Nick, Club 112, Diamonds, Nicky's and Pearl, you name it. Atlanta Live.
I mean, Dre, they don't.
All the clubs that I bought, you know, all the clubs I bought, you know.
You brought Pearl to Paradise, remember? But listen, Dre, a lot of people do not realize. You know, a lot of people do not realize that you, Dre, kind of when it comes to hip hop here, like I said, I would come out to the house, to the country club. I would come to the different places, and I would see Tupac. I would see. I'm talking about Scarface. I mean, the list goes on and on. If I start naming the
gangster rappers
at your house,
the gangster rappers.
Yeah, I'm talking about just laying on the couch. You see that Busta Rhymes over there? Yeah, over there. So I was like, wow, that made me start rapping. That was before I ever had an album out, Dre. So that's why I say you breed. Short, gotta give props to Short. Y'all were kind of instrumental in getting me to going. I remember some, Dre, that you don't remember. Watch this right here.
I don't remember nothing.
I know it's all good. I'm gonna remember for you. I'm your brains. Watch this. You was at Club Soho the night after you and Dion got to fighting. We're gonna touch on that too. And me and Nino, we had gotten straight from the deck.
Nino!
Watch this. I didn't see you over in the corner. I saw the game earlier that day. I was in there, and Breed was there that night, and CeeLo was there. CeeLo probably don't remember. So I was talking to CeeLo, and some guy came up to me and Nino, and said, Andre said, if you don't get over here and snap a picture right now and have a drink, don't make him come over there. And so, I didn't know you was in the club. You don't remember this. So, we had some little bros with us, so I tried to act hard. I was like, I don't know who you know, that nigga Nino said, Brett, we better get on over there, man, because one fight today, man. He looking to make an example out of somebody, man. Go and
draw the line, damn it. Draw the line. Draw the line, damn it, draw the line.
Hey, we came
draw the line.
We took that picture, boy. I said, hey.
Yeah.
It was
I'm gonna I got Ghetto Mafia t-shirts on up under my shoulder pads when I'm playing in the Georgia Dome, boy.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? You know, we can't forget Jagged Edge, 112, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it just wasn't about noontime, Noonie them, you know, Akon them, you know. It just wasn't about going in and recording. It was about defending, uplifting, and then ultimately defending like the A. You know, because when we were surrounded by the MCs that we were surrounded by the MCs that would be categorized in the gangster rap. That's different.
That's different.
That's totally different. You know, these fly by night guys and, you know, this old cute shit. We really wasn't around that.
Dre, do you think that you and Dion, be honest with me, man, I had a lot of questions for you, but do you think that you and Dion Sanders, prime time and showtime, y'all living the life? I mean, you know, it couldn't be, like I said, it couldn't be written out in Hollywood. But do you think that all the fame, the fortune, the women, the flash, the shine, did it contribute to you guys not bringing the Super Bowl here to Atlanta? Because we really thought that
we couldn't concentrate. Club 21, Club 112, all these ones and twos. You know what I'm saying? I don't think so. I believe if Prime would have stayed and I would have stayed, I believe we would eventually have won a Super Bowl because he was that dynamic and I was that dynamic.
Absolutely.
We won games. You know, I hear about all this talk about these receivers catching. He had 100 catches, and that's the white man in analytics. He had 100 catches, but he ain't winning no games. I bet you if you ask Julio if you could go to the playoffs on a consistent basis or get in the playoffs and play in an NFC Championship game, get in the Super Bowl, would you trade in 500 of your catches that just was catches? I bet you say yeah. If you could ask, you know, Megatron in Detroit, Calvin, who played at Georgia Tech, knew him when he was at Georgia Tech. If you could turn in 500 of your catches, Calvin, would you trade it in to play in one playoff game or 2 playoff games or a Super Bowl? Have a chance to win a Super Bowl? He probably would. You know what I'm saying? But with reporters and the media, if you catch 100 balls, you the shit. Man, Wes Welker wouldn't have even made my team. Wow. You know, them dudes, Danny Amendola and shit like that, man, them dudes wouldn't even made the team. If y'all don't stop it, man. But them dudes got more catches than a lot of great receivers that played the game, you know, and there's no discredit to them. But you wouldn't have made the team, period. You know what I'm saying? I could have got on defense and checked them. That type of shit.
Beehive check you. Beehive will.
Hey, we gotta set that up. We gotta set that up. Beehive versus Dre Ryan. We be like Mike Tyson. We be like Mike Tyson before the fight. What he say? He said, I smoked, man. I smoked before the fight. He knew he wasn't gonna lose. Y'all remember I guaranteed that win against Green Bay and they put it all on TV.
I was finna let my compadre get in there, man.
But now go ahead and talk about that guarantee of that win, man, when you had to haul up and let them know what time it was.
That's the only thing I be upset about with the Dirty Birds and the Falcons. I wasn't never a dirty bird, you know what I'm saying? I'm a true original Atlanta Falcon. I'm Showtime. I'm Andre Bad Moon Rising. That's who I am. And, you know, maybe that's why I'm not in the Ring of Honor. Maybe that's why, You know, I ain't up in
What?
there fluctuating around
You not
to
in the
make
ring of
stuff
honor.
move. Nah.
What?
Man, I've been to one Atlanta Falcon game since I've been retired, and I've been retired over 20-something years. And I took my wife to a Falcon game after her last chemo from cancer.
Hey,
And that was the first game and the only game that I've ever been to. And it's funny. I was bumping into some players that I played with, right? And I don't know if they work for the Falcons or they be at the Falcon games all the time or they in the Falcon community or whatever, boy. But they sure act like they didn't know me.
Damn.
And the killer part was, you know, my wife is not used to the game itself and being at the game and around the game because she wasn't around when I was playing. So, but she watched highlights and she know fanfare, and I got millions of fans, even all the way in Africa, you know, South Africa, you name it. And she's like, wow, I seen you score 50 touchdowns for Atlanta Falcons, but they don't even be saying your name. If you didn't pump your own highlights or if you didn't show the youth that you coach, the only reason I put the highlights and publish the highlights is so when I'm coaching in camps, the kids, once they look at me, they can go home and go to YouTube and look at it like, oh, this is my coach. Okay, cool. It ain't for me to look at it and be like, oh, man, you see me get open right then? Because really, if you really know Dre love basketball. So, you know, it hurts me, but I'm almost over it. I am. And, you know, it feels funny saying that I really belong to another team, but I get treated by the Green Bay Packers and the Super Bowl world champions that I am. I get treated pretty much better by that organization than I have through the years of the Falcons.
What was it like when you won that Super Bowl?
Man, I tell you, them people, they were great. The fans were great. And like I said, I grabbed the trophy on national TV, kissed the trophy. Man, I'm the best receiver to ever play the game. I am, pound for pound. And I blurted out, this just wasn't for whoever thought it was. This is for Atlanta too, the people of Atlanta, because I am one of the people of Atlanta. And so that's the difference. And I believe that's where the hurt comes in, more so than just the player. Like, I scored 50 touchdowns for the Falcons, like, real quick. I was there for 5 years, and when I went to go play for somebody else, I think I had already 60 touchdowns.
Woo.
60.
My God. So now,
and that's with a plethora of QBs. I'm not into talking about people. So, but that's with a lot of different quarterbacks too. And I got a wealth of knowledge about this game, man. I've scored so many touchdowns on the 49ers is unreal. And me and Jerry Rice, y'all witnessed it. Jerry Rice and Andre Rison went at it. We didn't cover each other, but we went at it. But I'll tell you this, if Prime had him, he wasn't going to do too much, not unless Prime was hurt or something. But they definitely had a better defense that I had to go up against, as opposed to him going up against the Falcons defense. I had to go up against Ronnie Lott and all them Hall of Famers, but it didn't make no difference, man. 190 yards, 180, 170, 3 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns. It didn't matter. Matter of fact, we started beating the 49ers. And so I just, it hurt me to my heart. And my wife said, hey, you got to grow, keep growing, and it'll eventually leave. And that's, that way it won't be no hatred. You know what I'm saying? Because Atlanta is me. And I feel like I own a part of Atlanta. You know, because I bucked the system, man. I was the first athlete, and I'm gonna say it. I was the first athlete, black athlete, minority, because I'm mixed, so minority athlete. I was the first one ever, man, to buck the system as far as like doing things that black athletes wouldn't do to help uplift our people. It just as far as remotely just going to a certain area, whether it was Buckhead, whether it was going to get a soda and a water downtown in the area that you don't supposed to be in. Doing stuff that, you know, like, look, it's us against the world right now.
Right, Dre, I can completely understand how you feel, and you don't want any hatred or animosity, and you have to take that day by day. And I understand that. I'm not in a trap museum. You know, I walk around. You know, it's people that call me and say, man, everybody and their mama is up here in this trap museum, but for some reason I'm not in. So I understand that. And for a long time I would be angry at the city also, but it's not their fault. It's not the fans' fault. I just want to tell you that we love you. The people in the city love you. It's strictly an organizational thing, and just like I had to figure out that me not being in the trap museum is strictly someone else's decision, not the.
Oh, without a doubt. Man, without a doubt, man. As long as I can see you and Beehive doing your thing and Pastor Troy doing his thing, man, and all my guys still handling their business, you know, that's what I was about from day one, is seeing people next to me be successful and giving them an opportunity, even sometimes the means to be successful. And so it's not ours. That's the cool part about it. If it was mine, I'd go down with guns blazing, but it's not ours. So, you know, it was many more Andre Rison's, you know, gonna come many more years from now, and I just hope they be even better than I am, you know. But I hate the fact that you can bring wide receivers to the Atlanta Falcons and not let Andre Rison have some type of hand on them. I believe, you know, and like if I'd have been in Julio Jones' career just a little bit, he already arguably the best to play the game in the last 5 years. You know, and him and Antonio Brown and Hopkins, those guys. But I see stuff. Like I see stuff. Like, okay, Julio, if you'd have did this, you know, I ain't even had that body and frame, you know, and all that massive speed and power. If I could show you how to do a couple things, oh my God, you know. But, you know, those are warranted. Other players, those are warranted in different organizations. You know what I'm saying? Like Michael Irvin will always be a Cowboy. Tim Brown will always be a Raider. Jerry Rice will always be a 49er. In my eyes, Randy Moss will always be a Viking. You know. But I just imagine, man, if I had just touched some of these guys that came through, I would be better at telling them something that they position coach or even a coordinator would be telling them, for real.
Let me get in here right quick, because see, what I must say to both of y'all, man, I remember watching Andre, and you was one of my favorite players of all time for them Falcons. I remember riding the Ghetto Mafia, and Indicator's one of my favorite songs of all time. So the people know. Don't ever forget that. The actual fans and the people in the community understands when folks are being mistreated, and that kind of behavior is not respected in the streets. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I can recall, excuse me, when Wicked, when we used to hear new artists come out, and I would be pushing Wicked to get back in the studio because I always stayed in the studio. I'm in the studio. If I'm not coaching, I'm in the studio. I'm in the studio 24 hours a day, every day, and show recording. And I would tell Wicked, man, did you hear that? That was your line. Did you hear that? They stole your style. Did you hear that? He using your style. Did you hear that? Did you hear that in that verse? Did you hear that? That's all right, though. That's all right. Let him do it. Don't get mad. Don't get mad, Wicked. Let him do it, cause it's keeping you out there.
Yeah.
Like it's like Tip. T.I. ain't called me Nandy, but he sure was pulling my hand and pulling my arm at the billboard down there at the thing downtown in Atlanta when he wanted to perform and get on stage and rock the bells on brothers. You know. They won't let me on. What they won't let you on? I hadn't even heard one of Tip's songs yet. They won't let me on. And we had brought Ice Cube down that day to perform downtown Atlanta at the House of Blues or something. And I said, man, if y'all don't let this little boy perform. and that was Tip. You know what I'm saying? I've been at home and Chris and Poon Daddy was laying on the couch talking about, we gonna get up in the morning, man. Big bro, man, and go start that underground radio station down there at the building. So we can play this rap. So we go back. You know, I was in the studio when Rico Wade and them couldn't even get in there. That's the Dungeon family. They working for LaFace Records. They got publishing deals. They got all kinds of stuff. They got production deals. They got this. They can't even get in because we done bought all the studio time up in the whole city. Can't nobody record, not unless they like us. We like it, or we like them. Who at the door? Who was that, Rico? Oh, I love me some Rico. I love me some Rico. And then Outkast go in there and drop that banging, Stang on Ya, banging album. You know what I'm saying? Ghetto Mafia. You know, I rolled, I played them, I bumped them, I played them. I spent damn near half the budget for Freaknik for 3 years, 4 years. That was my money, you know, for the people, you know what I'm saying? We can go on and on and on, from the clubs and the bottles and the waitresses and the bouncers and the security. You know, we can tell you how to do it. That's for sure. We can tell you how it should be done and how you should treat people. And that's one thing I've always said, Dre, treat people how you want to be treated. I haven't been perfect, but damn, I'm 99.9 when it comes to treating people right, though.
I co-sign that. Dre, I got one more question from a celebrity. You brought his name up just a second ago. Pastor Troy. What's up, Pastor?
Yes, sir.
What's up? Pastor wants to know, you had a record label called Bullpen. Everybody know Bullpen is synonymous with baseball. He wants to know, does that mean anything? Did you want to, at one point, play baseball like Dion did? What is the meaning behind your record label called Bullpen when you play football?
The Bullpen really stood for, I actually like the Bullpen, a lot of us. It's a lot of us. You know, what they say, take a village to feed a family. It's a lot of us. And my best sport coming up was baseball, but as we know in the inner cities, you know, blacks don't go to high school and play baseball in the inner cities. And so we go run track. And so we didn't have a baseball team. When junior high, I was probably arguably the best baseball player in the country. And then when I got to high school, I couldn't play because we didn't have a team. So I ran track, which ultimately I ran in college. And that ultimately helped me out, you know, in the long run for football. But I played basketball in college too. So baseball was always on my mind. So I've always heard the word bullpen. We always thought about the bullpen back home because it's a bunch of us. Then when I went to Atlanta, I inherited a bunch of more people. And it's still bullpen to this day. It's always going to be bullpen for life. That's BP for life. And it's all about uplifting people, helping people, not being there during happy times, or being there during sad times and bad times, being there for somebody. You know, a lot of times everybody want to come to the party, but we was the type too, as bullpen, not to go to the party and make our own party. And that's the special thing about BP. BP is about helping your next man, no matter what color, no matter, when I say color, I mean strictly gang banging, all that stuff. You need to help so you can be helped. You know, if you don't help, you'll never receive what you think you should. And you should always be kind and humble to people. Now, that's what the laws were of bullpen. Never leave your porch with intent to harm, but death before dishonor. Wow. And that was our stilo, and it still is to this day. That's why we have great friends, great relationship. We don't even I don't look at you and B-High as friends. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right. Bullpen.
You feel me? Yeah. You know, I'm closer to you guys than I was 85-90% of my teammates.
Wow, that means a lot right there, man. What's up, Shorty, man? Shorty is hitting in. He said, Dre, he love you.
Much love, Shorty.
Dre, a lot of people want to know this also. Finances when it comes to football. Me and B-How was talking about this. You guys, y'all get these contracts. They report on ESPN and Forbes and all this stuff. Andre Rison just got $50 million. You know,
I need that right now. You got that right now? You got 15? You got 15 right now?
No, what I'm saying is, can you break that down to, how much you really take home from them $20 million deals? How much do they? Because, a lot of athletes be like, man, they offer me $20 million, but unless I get 30, I ain't signing. I'd be like, $20 million is a lot. Are they not getting the whole $20 million? Off of $20 million, how much would you say an athlete would take home? If I signed you for $20 million, how much would you actually take home in money?
In today's time, probably about $9 million.
Wow.
9 to 11 million.
Wow.
That you can actually put in your hand and put in your pocket.
Do they pay that all one time, or is that how do NFL players get paid? Is it every Monday? Is it you get one check a month? How do you guys?
They got a new collective bargain agreement came in, and so you can get paid how you want to get paid. You can get paid during the season, as far as when the season starts, you get paid every game, every week. Or you can get paid every 2 weeks, or you can just, when you get your check, just put it up. You can do it how you want to do it. Okay. It starts to cut off into your base salary. Signing bonuses are what they are, what you hear, signing bonus. So, different than music, you get a signing bonus in music, you get some marketing money in music, you got to pay that back now, non-refundable, all that good stuff. And you get paid 20. Say these kids now they're signing for 100 million, 200 million.
Right.
Well, if they sign for 200, say they do a deal for 200 million, 99, 101. Just do the math. It's 50% tax or 49% tax. It ain't nothing you can do about that.
How much do agents take?
Too much, and the killer part is most agents are white and most players are black, and so it's almost like when the player comes out, he like looks at the white man and say he's smarter, so do my deal. Right.
Wow.
I had a black agent. And I became the highest paid ever in history at one point in time, signing that contract. So it don't matter what color your agent is, but these kids get under the assumption that, that particular firm has that many guys, and that agent did that deal for that amount of money. And so those deals, those big lucrative balloon looking deals are crucial for agents and representatives, because they can bloat it, like, look how much I got for this guy, look how much I got for that guy, but if I was a kid coming out, I want to look for the agent and representative who got me the most guaranteed money up front, because tomorrow is not promised. So you want to get as much as money, guaranteed monies as you can as a player. Coaches are meant to be hired to be fired. So that's a whole. But they're under the same pay scale as well. And coaches have agents too. Sorry about that. Coaches have agents as well. Most of them do. 99% of them. They have agents as well. And I've been in a situation early in my career where I didn't understand that shit. And before I was making some real money, I ended up in the off season and like waiting on a check to come. They like, man, it ain't coming till you score another touchdown. Back in the day, they had two jobs. As a rookie, when I came in, them guys was cutting eyes at me, looking all crazy, my own teammates. Because first of all, there was no free agency. So those guys were great friends. They were great friends. They didn't want to see you come in and take their friend's job. And then the money was totally different. Taxes, they would take home more money because taxes was like 18% then. But when I first came in the league, man, it was rough, man. It was rough. A lot of those guys, 80% had two jobs.
Wow.
When I came in, NFL players, they had two jobs. And that's why I get mad at our race, especially black men. it's already hard enough to make a penny, but just because you make it to the league, man, don't be hating on me because I made it to the league. We all was in the backyard at grandmama's house playing tackle, and we was all rapping too, though. We was all hearing music, so don't act like I can't spit. Don't act like I can't have bars, or don't act like I ain't come from these streets, the same ones you came from, just because I can run a slant route and catch the ball or get tackled, get up and do it, this and that. That don't make me no different than the next guy. It's just this how much money they paying. This how much they paying at the gate. This how much they paying at the gate. You know, and I used to tell Lisa that a long time ago with TLC. You know, I'm like, damn, you know, y'all got 3 #1 records on the radio, and you ain't got no money. So you need a new agent, or you need you need a new agent, you know, and then, you know, how you got 3 #1 records and you ain't got no money, and on top of it, you know, it don't look like it's getting no better. Y'all doing tours, and the label, everybody on the label just filed bankruptcy. You know, on down. You know, Outkast, everybody had to go get that bag again from their own label. So, you know, it ain't no different. The football stuff, and the only thing different than the football stuff and the NBA is that, you know, the NBA was guaranteeing monies. You know, them boys was getting that money. And I push for all the monies, especially these high contracts that they're signing, because that means if we're signing contracts of this magnitude in 2020, imagine in 2030. It might be a player signed for close to $1 billion.
Wow.
In baseball.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because they've already signed for 500 and 400.
500. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, fellas, with that being said, my question is to you, Dre. When is you gonna be back in the city to sit down with me and Wick and do this thing live?
I'm coming in, man. I'm coming in about a couple weeks. I got a podcast I'm working on. It's up under my belly a little bit. Got a great producer down there. The guy been running Patchwork Studios for years.
Kurt.
Big Kurt, Big Kurt, Spartan Dog. And woof, woof, woof. He gonna set it up, man. He's producing it, so I know it's gonna be a live show. We're gonna have a great time, great ball. I mean, I'm coming in Atlanta, you know, once a week. For the next 5 months, I'm gonna be coming in Atlanta once a week. Okay. So I know I'm gonna hit the show up. I know I'm gonna get over there, try to see Pastor Troy, try to see Troy, and then try to see the family, see my whole Atlanta family. You already know that. Then I got to go grab my son, see what they doing, nephew Bango, see what he got on the board. You know, my son, nephew Bango, I've been trying to get him signed forever, but you know, sometimes y'all down there in ATL Entertainment. You know, ATL, it ain't Hollywood, it's ATL Wood, you know, and, you know, I'm trying to tell my son, I'm like, man, you got to go ahead and get the bag, dog, go and do it, you know, but to each his own, but I'll be down there, man, and, you know, I look forward to it. I haven't been to the A since my Super Bowl party, which was off the chain, and I'm looking forward to it, man, but proud of y'all, love y'all. Wick, like I said, health is everything, you know. Health is so critical right now. You know, when you're 20-some years old and when you popping bottles, that's what you're supposed to do, you know. But when you get this age, shit, you're supposed to find another way to pop some more bottles.
Hey man, that was great, man. It's great to hear from you. Beehive, if you ain't got nothing else to say, man, I'm gonna put on my LL Cool J, man, and a fake chain and go on and head out. My kids gave me this right here, man. I got step kids.
Hey man, I just put it on, man. Put it on. They don't know if it's real or not.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, go ahead, look right there.